So I was literally just driving to the gym this morning and the ideas started to come to my head. I wanted to revamp and bring back my podcast. I had the idea that rather than me going out and getting all the guests that I had been getting in the past, which is a really time consuming process, it required me going interstate a lot of the time, booking Airbnb, setting up studios in the Airbnb, extremely time consuming, extremely expensive for what I was getting out of it. And it just wasn't really something I was seeing as a priority to facilitate anymore. So I was no longer doing a podcast at all. And then this morning I was driving to the gym and I came to the conclusion that what if I completely tweak things? And rather than having something that was so time heavy like that, until I can get to the stage where I would hire someone to talk to the guests, message them, get them on board and whatnot, do all that, do all the editing, do all the extra jazz that comes with a podcast. Because don't get me wrong, there is so much that comes with content creation that a lot of people don't realize. And especially when you're doing long format, all right, you're sitting there for a long time. There's a lot of footage to go over, chop, find the short form, all that. And I came to the conclusion of doing these shorter 10, 15, 20-minute episodes where they are specific to a single piece of advice, a single content thing, whether that's a specific thing in the AI space, business, fitness, you name it, and really niche it down. And in that moment, you're left with a couple of decisions. You can put that idea in the ideas book and you can wait for that right time to come, the perfect time to come. Or, like I did, you can execute the thing. You don't chase and wait for perfection. You just simply do the thing at the level you're able to right now. If you could see the room I'm in right now, the camera is currently sitting on a bed frame that has no mattress on it in a room that has absolutely nothing in it. There's the lights that I would usually use just popped up to the side. I went to where I had been storing this chair from the previous podcast studio, as well as the mics, everything, and I just put it together instantly. I sat on my computer over the last couple of hours and I was just branding, doing all these things. And now with AI, I have figured out a way that I can create a really good flow that's going to allow me to edit and chop up and create this content with all the graphics you're going to be seeing on the screen, the thumbnails, you name it, in a simple way. Now, it is still far from perfect. The thumbnails won't be exactly how I want them to be. This studio is far from perfect. I'm literally just got a white wall behind me. I would like to style things and make it look better. But the issue with that is I wouldn't be returning to getting the reps. Without doing the reps there, I wouldn't be getting the content that I'm going to be able to put out on YouTube, as a podcast, on Spotify, on short form content. So the lesson here isn't about you should dive in and start a podcast today. It's the matter of the fact that waiting for perfect is what is crushing your ability to make progress. At the end of the day, the greatest level of progress you will ever make is from being in the arena. And yeah, this is me kind of shitting on exactly what I'm doing here in terms of podcasts, books, you name it, where you're trying to gain that information from. They're excellent. And trust me, I go through books like crazy. I go through podcasts like crazy still. But there's kind of chapters for it. And I'm at the moment extremely heavy on just the doing of the thing. And with AI especially, what you start to notice is that when you do the thing, you can actually do a lot more, a lot faster. Right? So when you get started with something, you realize where your skill is currently at. You might be a lot further along the journey than you realize and that you've given yourself credit for, or you may have a shit ton to learn. But the best part is it gives you a starting point. And at the end of the day, the only way to improve is to start, because there's so many people out there. I was only talking with a client this morning about how everyone has these ideas for apps, and in the world of AI and all these sort of things, everyone is quickly going to be like, well, ChatGPT can do that. Well, Claude can do that. And that's their reason for why they don't simply start something, because they fear that it won't be a thing in 5 years. Now, it's okay to analyze these things and have an idea of that, but majority of the time, people are just hunting down the excuses for why they shouldn't do the thing. And yeah, even if what you have an idea of doing now, whether that's a product, a service, a business, whatever it is, a book you want to write, a piece of art you want to design, a movie you want to make, there's a chance that some of those things won't exist in 5 or 10 years. But by simply starting now, you're stacking the skills so that when the time comes that has to move on, you've either continued to iterate on it, so therefore it is what it needs to be in the current time, or at a bare minimum, you have developed so many skills that you can take to the next thing. For a prime example, my own business, my app, right? When I first started and brainstorming that 4 years ago, AI wasn't a thing. You couldn't just vibe code. That wasn't a possibility. I was a non-technical, so I had to pay someone to build the MVP, the minimum viable product, to then go out and test the thing. Right now, you can go on your computer and you can start coding for $30 a month with no understanding of the tools, how to write a line of code. I still don't know how to write a line of code, but you can prototype something. I do the exact thing here, and I prototype features of the app to then put out to users for them to test. That gives me real world feedback as to whether this is something that people are going to want to use. And it reiterates the point of don't wait for perfect, execute, get feedback, stack the skills, and then continue to move on from there. Because at the end of the day, the number one place that you are going to grow is in the arena. It is not sitting on the sidelines watching someone else do the work. They are going to continue to grow, continue to win, and you're going to continue to get left behind. And in a world that is moving so goddamn fast because of the compounding effects of technology, of AI, and everything that exists in the world today, you are going to get left behind at a much faster rate than you would have in the past. This isn't a scare tactic. This is an encouragement tactic, because you quickly realize that in order to get to some form of point of person or life that you want, you're going to have to eventually start. And you may as well start today with whatever minimal skill set you have, because no matter what, you will never have as few skills as you do today. You will continue to build and therefore grow into the person that you require to be. The same applies for your training, your nutrition, whatever. If you want to bench 100 kilos, you can't wait until you have the physique to bench 100 kilos, because that physique is built by spending time in the gym. If you want to lose 10 kilos, but you don't feel like you're the person that it takes to go on a diet or to lose the weight in the first place, you're never going to lose that weight, because you simply need to take the first step. You need to lose a kilo before you can lose 10. You need to bench 20 before you can bench 100. You need to take the steps toward doing it. When you're writing a book, you don't wait until you have the whole story scripted out and everything's perfect, or this video right here, I have some dot points, sure, but at the end of the day, most of this is just off the cuff because I simply started, and then you iterate as you go. And so this episode is a prime example of that iteration. And now you can apply that to elements of your life. That literally could even be dating. Hell, I mean, I'm saying I'm not so no dating coach. I'm not going to come around here and say I've got everything all figured out. But what I do know is, in order to get to the stage where you have something remotely figured out, or you're getting yourself closer to having it figured out, you have to start. You have to dive in the deep end. There's going to be people that will judge you on the outside, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that aren't diving in. They aren't giving it a crack, because anyone that is doing it will completely and utterly respect you for the fact that you're doing it. So I urge you to dive into the deep end, to just start, to stack the skills. And especially if you're young, you have absolutely there's no issue with you taking the risk. If you're in your 20s and things go terribly wrong, time is on your side. I'm 26. I have so much fucking time, right? And I've got to this amazing place in my life that I've realized that. And I urge you to feel the same. It's not easy. It took me a while to get to the stage where I could just set this up and be like, yeah, I'm okay with this not looking perfect. It's still going to look fucking good because I have stacked skills over the years. I've edited videos for 8 years. But had I waited for the perfect podcast setup, I wouldn't have had the skills to revamp this and get it started in a matter of just a few hours to have the episode up on the exact same day. So if there's one thing you do in today, so if there's today, this week, whatever it is, it's just to start something. Doesn't have to be massive. Just start it, get the ball rolling, and you'll thank yourself later for it.